Hi, thank you so much for joining us today. We are going to talk about how to refer a student to conduct, cares, or counseling, the differences between the three resources, and why you would be referring a student to one of these three resources.
All right. Hello. Thank you for joining us. I'm Nicole Ferguson. I'm the Director of Student Conduct and Community Standards here at CSU Pueblo. I just wanted to share briefly what the mission of our conduct office is. So to start, I want people to get into the idea that conduct is an educational process. It's not necessarily a punitive process for our students. We really want students to walk away from working with the conduct office, knowing kind of this idea of demonstrating respect for others, upholding high personal and academic integrity standards, and being accepting of differences. I think that being a college student, one of the things that we really want to focus on is that student development piece. So when students come to my office or refer to my office, these are kind of some of the things that we cover. So I wanted to share that at the onset so people kind of get an idea of what our office is utilized for or what our idea of our office is. So a few different kind of conduct violations. We have 25 specific violation types. If you go to our student conduct website, there is what we call the student code of conduct. That's basically the contractual agreement that students have when they come to CSU Pueblo. And they say, these are some of the rules that I promise not to violate. There are these 25, but then you can kind of tell, it's a little difficult on this screen, but there are 3 of them that are bolded: abusive conduct, academic dishonesty, and drug misuse. As you can imagine, being an institution in Colorado, marijuana is a big piece of what we deal with day to day. So we'll have students kind of in the residence halls that may attempt to use marijuana. And that's one of our bigger high rates of cases that we deal with. And then abusive conduct is typically anytime someone's just unkind to another person, they say something that's threatening, they say something that makes someone fearful. Those are some conversations that we'll have with students about, how are they being perceived? What are they sharing in the educational environment? And then of course, academic dishonesty. When we think about what faculty are seeing the most, this is typically where our reports come from. So anytime student plagiarizes an assignment, they don't cite properly, anything like that, they copy one another's work, just academic dishonesty is what that category would fall under. So how do you refer these things to our office? If you go, like I said, on our website, the best way to do that, I just Google CSU Pueblo student conduct. You'll find us. It's the first thing that pops up. You'll see our information there. Over on the left, obviously, you're welcome to call or send me an email at any time. I'm happy to answer any kind of question if you're kind of not sure what might fall under the Office of Student Conduct. But also on the right-hand side, we have a widget that's called the incident reporting form. When you go to that incident reporting form, it'll ask you a bunch of questions, which are the same questions I would ask you if you were to call or email me. So it's really easier if you just fill out the form. And then if you do have questions, you can ask those in that form and I can contact you or reach back out to you. A lot of times I just ask people, if you're not sure if you should refer it, fill out the form. It's not going to hurt. I might call you back and say, hey, Nicole, I got your report. I wanted to let you know this doesn't really meet the grounds for student conduct violation, but these are some of our options, and just see what you want to do with that information. All right, and that was my last slide. So like I said, if anybody has any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to reach out. I have an open door. I know this stuff can be confusing sometimes, so I'm happy to answer any questions you might have.
Thanks so much, Nicole. My name is Mira, and I am the co-chair of our PatCares team. CARES stands for Campus Assessment, Response, Evaluation, and Support. Our mission is really to help keep the campus community safe, keep our students thriving, and assist them in facing the challenges that they're facing. We have a really resilient student population, but our students do get tired of being resilient. So we're here to help. I'm not going to read this verbatim, but like I said, our purpose is just to help out, and we are comprised of a group of different specialties from around campus within student affairs. And the team consists of people from the counseling center like Joe and Nicole from student conduct. So there could be some overlap, but we also have the DRSC, Military Veteran Support Center, connections to the PAC Pantry. So these are all things that we use to connect students to resources. Our motto is college should be challenging, not overwhelming. Let us help. There's a large multitude of reasons why students would be referred to PatCares. This list is not all inclusive, but it's a really good start. I would say that within the past 2 years, a lot of our CARES referrals have been for things like mental health support. And that's why I'm so glad that we have Joe here today to talk about how to refer students directly to counseling. The other things that we help with is if students are facing housing insecurity, food insecurity, if they're displaying patterns of behavior that are concerning. Really, the point that we're getting to here is that if you're concerned for a student for really any reason, you can refer them to PatCares. We do ask that you consider the urgency though. If a student is in your office during your office hours and they're stating that they're making statements that lead you to believe that they might be suicidal, you can call the counseling center directly, call 911, call our sheriff's office on campus. PatCares is for not emergencies. It's not crisis intervention. We can do the follow-up after a crisis, but we're not in place to handle it up front. Our PatCares referrals are not monitored 24/7. So for instance, if you are extremely concerned for a student on a Friday night at 6 p.m. and you submit a PatCares referral, that referral is likely not to be read until Monday morning at 8 a.m. And so that's why we're here to discuss all of the resources. How you're going to submit a referral is I placed this QR code here. So if you want to take out your phone and scan it, it will take you directly to the page where you can submit a PatCares referral, or you can type in this link. You can go to the website, you can search for PatCares and it will pull up the page. There's a button there. And the web page actually was updated. And I noticed this yesterday, that instead of clicking student life and then scrolling and clicking PatCares, you could actually hover at the top of the page on campus life. And then PatCares is listed under student services, as is student conduct and community standards and the Wolfpack Counseling Center. So you can find all three of these resources under that student services link. And I think there's more. Some people ask what happens when they submit a referral. When you submit a referral, you will get a confirmation that it was received. If you don't get a confirmation that it was received, you could reach out to someone on the PatCares team, myself, Bonnie Fruin. There's contact information on our webpage. Once you receive that confirmation from us that we received your referral, we also reach out to the student. Really, what we're trying to do is we're going to gather data, we're going to analyze that data, and then we'll intervene by connecting them to the appropriate resources, the appropriate offices. And then once we connect a student and hopefully have them steered in the right direction, it could be ongoing. It could be longitudinal support. So it could be over a span of weeks or months where I'm checking in on a weekly basis, a bi-weekly basis. Sometimes I just check in with the student one time, they get everything that they need and they're on their way. Please know that as a referral source, so the person submitting the referral, I am not going to follow up with you because I'm respecting the privacy of the student and what they need to do and how they feel best supported. If they ask me to follow up with you, I will, but really instead of a check-in, what I'm going to do is I'm going to close with you and just close the loop and let you know I'm closing so-and-so out of PatCares. Thank you for the referral. And why? Sometimes it's because the student didn't respond to me. Sometimes it's because we got them connected to what they needed. But really, once you submit that referral, the focus is on the student and getting them the help that they need. And so I won't follow up with you until the process is over. And that's it for PatCares. Thank you.
I guess it's my turn. I'm last but not least. I'm Joe Smiley. I am the psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner, and I am also the director of the Wolfpack Counseling Center. Our mission, just like everybody else, is basically to get the student through college with the best skills that they can get and to reinforce what they already can do and teach them new ones. I don't know how to move these slides here, women. When the student comes into your office, that's when people normally kind of freak out and aren't really sure what they should do with the person when they're telling them they're not doing good in their class and they start crying. Crying scares everybody, except for us over here. We're kind of immune to crying. Sometimes we'll cry with them too. But referring someone to counseling or even to PatCares is whenever you have a concern. And the earlier in your concern process, the better. It's very hard for us when, I know I'm with the CARES team as well, when we get referrals of they were expelled from the program and they're very upset. Well, what am I going to do now to help them? So the sooner you let us know, the better. But this is for anyone you have a concern about, a student that you have seen come to class for weeks, be really upbeat, participating, but they come today and they're totally withdrawn, or they're not dressed appropriately, or you overhear a comment of, I'm going to kill myself, or it would be better if I weren't here. Anything that you're uncomfortable with, refer. It can go to CARES. I do get to review all CARES referrals as well, so I can screen some of the mental health ones. And I am one of the weird ones that's here on the weekend, so I may see it, but I may not. What you can do, I think the next slide comes now. I'm not sure. It's been, see, I like to show where we are and that we try to be friendly and aren't these evil appearing people that people think we are. We have artwork on our door. And then when you come in our office, we have a fish tank with a big old fishy. We are open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. That was a funny face, Mira.
I wasn't sure if I was supposed to move forward with the slide and my finger.
You did good.
I'll just wait for you to say, do it.
Okay. You can tell we work together a lot. We're open Monday through Friday, but I don't know about you. I cannot always plan my crisis or my meltdown to be between 8 to 5 Monday and Friday. So we have worked very hard to get with a company called Protocol. It is an after-hours answering service that picks up for us at 5 p.m. and goes until the morning at 8 a.m. These are social workers who answer the phone. It is a national company, and they do counseling with anybody who comes on the phone. They'll take messages, they'll do counseling, they'll take referrals from you. If it's something that is emergent, that they feel the person needs to be hospitalized, or they want to send a police officer to check on them, they will call me at home. We've only had to do that twice, and only one time did the person go to the hospital. So it works really well. And then in the morning when I come in, I check the reports and I see who called them last night, and I follow up with the students. And it kind of freaks students out when I say, well, I see you called Protocol on Sunday, and I'm wanting to know how you're doing today. They're like, wow, you really did follow up. So we do follow up. If the student is in your office between 8 and 5 and they're having a meltdown, you can pick up the phone, call us. I like to say somebody's at the desk 24/7, or excuse me, from 8 to 5. But you know, people do have a potty need every once in a while, so they may have stepped away. Please don't take it personally. Leave a message. Our phone does not have missed caller ID. Please leave a phone number for us to call you back. And as soon as we're done in the potty, we'll come and call you back. But usually we'll pick up the phone. Kaylee is usually who answers. If it's not her, it's usually me. And we will get you in. We keep spots every day for emergency situations for walk-ins. Or you can just walk the student over in the office and we'll help take care of them. Next one. Once they come to the counseling center, we'll do an evaluation for safety, coping skills, and readiness for therapy. Unfortunately, because of HIPAA, which is a pain in all of our bottom ends, we cannot give you information about that session with the person. But if you want to stay involved in that person's care, you can tell them to sign a release of information to you. What that will do is let us say, yes, they came in, they've agreed to keep seeing us. We will not give you specifics of what we talked about. If they are suicidal, does not always mean they need to go to the hospital. We can maybe get a safety plan. If they are homicidal, we do the duty to warn, we do violence assessments. And if they're in imminent danger, we can place them on an M1 We have the police transport, or if they have a very responsible family member, to send them to the emergency rooms, or to Health Solutions has a small unit they can use also to keep them safe for that time. Next one. This is a little algorithm that someone made up. I think Kaylee did it. I have copies of it over here. If you want one, we can take it to your office. We have them in little cards. I can also send you the email, but the thing I have has 4 of them on one, so it's up to you. But it kind of gives you an idea. If they're suicidal, no, you can give them our number. If it's yes, is there a plan? If there's not a plan, you don't need to have a heart attack. If there is a plan, you call 911. You can call me as well. I do go over to offices to help out. If they're not suicidal, but they're depressed, anxious, or overwhelmed, if they're crying, you can walk them over, you can refer them to us. You can dial the phone and hand it to them, and we'll talk to them on the phone. If it's financial or academic, we may not be the right people to do, but I'm learning more and more every day. It would be better if you would do a PatCares referral at that time, because then it can be addressed in the big group with everybody on it. Next. And that's my little spiel.
I think that one of the big points to remember is, and we're trying to come with a new slogan, I would say, if you don't help me, Nicole, if I've already forgotten it, but if you don't report it, then we don't know how to help. And so we really want to encourage people to think about the things that we went over today and kind of try to sift out what would be the best resource for this student. Are they possibly violating a policy? Is this a student conduct issue? Do they need mental health support? Or do they need support with life challenges? And I think that that's what it kind of boils down to. And please know to not overthink, where is my referral going to? Where is my report going to? Just get it in. Just do it and do what Joe said and put it in early, because our hope is to intervene. We want to be acting ahead of time before things escalate. We want to be able to intervene instead of retroactively responding to something.
In other words, we want to act, not react to situations. One question that was put around was, what kind of holistic services do we provide here at CSU Pueblo? Unfortunately, in the Wolfpack Wellness Center, which includes wellness, counseling, and education, we have a firm belief in holistic approach to everything, because we all know, Carol and I have been around for 1 million years and worked together. We know that it involves not only your physical, but your emotional, your financial, your spiritual health. It takes everything to help. And fortunately, here in the counseling center, we all believe in that as well. Even though I primarily do medicines, I also use a lot of herbal products because I believe they work. We have acupuncture, auricular acupuncture for students. We have acutherapy beads. We have tapping that's available, EMDR. And this semester, we are bringing in virtual reality to help with anxiety as well as with therapy. So I think we try to cover as many aspects as we can. And if someone sees that there's something we might benefit from, I'm more than willing to hear about it and take a look into it.